Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Ichi Ahada, selaku dosen pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Mulawarman. Di sini saya akan menyampaikan unjuk kerja Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi Bidang Pengajaran sebagai proses sertifikasi dosen tahun 2025. Pada kesempatan ini, saya akan menjelaskan teknik pengajaran pada salah satu mata kuliah yang saya ampu, yaitu Intermediate Listening. Intermediate Listening dengan bobot 2 SKS dan mata kuliah Intermediate Listening adalah lanjutan dari mata kuliah Intensive Listening. Pendekatan pembelajaran yang saya gunakan menggunakan pendekatan delivery, interaction, dan juga assessment. Beberapa metode menggunakan di antara ceramah interaktif, diskusi studi kasus, simulasi, serta PJBL pembelajaran berbasis proyek. Tujuan pembelajaran Intermediate Listening adalah memahami makna secara mendalam dengan tujuan untuk memahami makna yang terkandung dalam materi audio bahasa Inggris dengan lebih detail dan akurat. Ini meliputi pemahaman konteks, struktur bahasa, serta nuansa yang ada dalam ujaran bahasa Inggris agar dapat meningkatkan keterampilan mendengarkan mahasiswa sehingga mereka dapat lebih baik dalam menangkap informasi penting dan detail dari yang didengar dalam bahasa Inggris, seperti pertemuan bisnis dan diskusi akademis. Dalam pembelajaran Intermediate Listening, terbukti dapat meningkatkan hasil belajar mahasiswa dalam tes listening comprehension agar lebih siap menghadapi berbagai jenis pertanyaan berdasarkan materi yang didengarkan dan juga persiapan dalam menghadapi beberapa proficiency test seperti TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, CEFR, dan tes profisiensi lainnya. Karena yang pertama kali dihadapi dalam tes tersebut adalah bagian listening. Tentunya, capaian mata kuliah ini sesuai dengan yang diharapkan pada profil lulusan, yaitu lulusan program studi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris, mampu menjadi pendidik dan praktisi industri dalam bidang bahasa Inggris dengan menerapkan kompetensi komunikatif secara efektif. Dan lulusan program studi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris mampu menjadi praktisi industri bahasa seperti tenaga kependidikan, teknisi pendidikan, penerjemah, pengalih bahasa yang berkaitan dengan bahasa Inggris. CPL dalam mata kuliah Intermediate Listening, mahasiswa dapat menguasai konsep teoritis bidang pengetahuan dan keterampilan bahasa Inggris untuk menyelesaikan masalah secara prosedural dan beradaptasi terhadap perubahan baik dalam konteks pembelajaran di dalam maupun di luar kelas. Selain itu, mampu menerapkan kompetensi komunikatif bahasa Inggris secara efektif dalam konteks akademik dan non-akademik. CPL yang dibebankan pada mata kuliah yang sudah saya sebutkan kemudian menjadi capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah atau CPMK. Dalam CPMK, mahasiswa diharapkan dapat mengetahui konsep dan teori dasar, yaitu 1. Mampu menganalisis konteks dan makna tersirat dari berbagai jenis materi audio dalam bahasa Inggris termasuk percakapan sehari-hari, pidato, dan berita. 2. Mampu mengevaluasi keefektifan strategi mendengarkan yang digunakan dalam memahami berbagai aksen dan intonasi dalam bahasa Inggris, serta memberikan umpan balik konstruktif. Selanjutnya, mampu merancang dan menghasilkan materi audio yang otentik sebagai alat bantu pengajaran listening, termasuk pembuatan podcast atau rekaman wawancara yang relevan dengan topik tertentu. Mampu menerapkan teknik-teknik lanjutan dalam mendengarkan secara intensif untuk mengidentifikasi detail penting dan informasi tersirat, eksplisit dan implisit dalam rekaman audio bahasa Inggris. Adapun bahan ajar yang digunakan sebagai referensi pada mata kuliah Intermediate Listening adalah Cambridge English Skill Real Listening and Speaking by Sally Logan and Craig Tain, British Council, artikel terkait, serta sumber lainnya yang relevan dalam mata kuliah Intermediate Listening. Melalui pembelajaran berbasis hasil Outcome Based Education atau OB, agar dapat membekali mahasiswa menghadapi adaptasi teknologi dalam pembelajaran atau listening skill dan penerapannya sebagai pendidik atau pengajar di pendidikan bahasa Inggris di masa yang akan datang. Adapun dalam asesmen pada mata kuliah ini yaitu absensi dan keaktifan dengan bobot presentasi 10%, UTS 15%, UAS 25%, studi kasus atau tugas 25%, PJBL 25%, sehingga total keseluruhan menjadi 100%. Berikut akan saya sampaikan rangkaian proses pembelajaran dengan salah satu topik materi pada mata kuliah Intermediate Listening. Oke everyone, Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, so how are you guys today in this lovely morning? Fine, okay. Very well. Okay, now everyone, before we start our lesson today, I'm going to ask one of you to lead for today's meeting to pray together. Anyone would like to? Okay, very nice. Good.
So guys, before start the class, let's pray. Amen. Okay, so let's jump right in. But before that, I'm going to ask you to open your mobile phone to make some, attendance on your star. To absensi ya. Oke, sudah selesai semua? Sudah bisa. Okay. Nice. Now let's jump right into today's topic. So we're going to have for this topic that is talking about making decisions. But before that, I'm going to ask you. You guys remember from the previous topic that we discussed earlier? Yes. So let's talk about. Very nice. So we've been done for those topics. Now let's move on to this one. Okay, so making decision. What is in your mind when you hear about the word about making decision? Okay, choosing something. Okay, choose something, or maybe any vocabulary that related to making decision. Anyone?
Which food do we want to eat?
Okay, which food do you want to eat today? Okay, very nice. Now, let's take a look. In today's meeting, you're going to have for this one. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that you're capable to analyze between all this greatest accent audio that we're going to have today. And also, the topic is talking about making decision, and it's going to make all of you to develop your critical thinking about which one that best, which one is pro, contra, and so on. So let's jump right into today's topic. Okay, so here are some learning outcomes, or subject MK as we may say. So in the end of the course, you as a student will be able to design or arrange the main ideas and supporting details about various listening material that related to the topic of making decision. And then you're going to use appropriate vocabulary and also comprehension skill that related to the topic about making decision, of course. And also you're going to have, okay, and you can express yourself and your opinion and idea that related about making decision, okay? So I hope everything for today is going to go very well. Now let's take a look on this one. Do you have from your prior knowledge talking about this one, alternative? Do you know what alternative is? Anyone of you? Yes? Okay, backup plans. Okay. Any else about alternative? Yes?
Options.
Options. Okay, so several options would be picked. Okay. Now let's move on to consequences. What do you guys think when you heard consequences? Yes.
The result of something.
Okay, the result of something after making decision, right? Okay, risk. Yes. Challenge. Okay, challenge. Risk. Okay. And then analysis. Analysis in terms of making decision. Yes. Okay.
Thinking about making decisions.
Okay, think about making decision. Which one is that going to probably the best to choose? Okay, good. Now let's have a pro contra. Yes. Debate. Okay, pro and contra. Debate. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Whether the decision is good or bad for us.
Okay, whether the decision is going to be good or bad for us, so we need to make some sort of list between pro and contrast. Okay, evaluation, everyone. Yes.
Reviewing back our decision.
Okay, reviewing the decision. Okay, whether it's
Good or bad for us.
okay, good or bad as the result.
Yeah.
Okay, after making decision. Okay, very nice. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Okay, now let's have for this one. So actually, making decision, you think it's hard for making decisions? Sometimes. Okay, sometimes we make a very hard decision. Okay. Now let's have for this one. So this is the second step of making decision process. First one is we try to identify the problem or decision that we're going to make, and then we gather the relevant info. Okay, of course we need to make sure that we are going to make the right one, and then after that identify the alternatives, right? Okay, so it's going also related from the previous vocabulary that we discussed about. And also weigh the evidence. This is quite an important step. Okay, ini juga penting ya for evidence. We make sure every single thing is went right. Okay, and then choose among the alternatives, of course. Okay, so we have several pro and contrast. Okay. And also take action and then review your decision as your evaluation, right? Now, well, this is we're going to have our watch some video that talking about making decision. Okay, let's look.
Hey, hello, team. We've been here for a while. How about we order pizza?
Okay, let's start one more time.
Hey, hello, team. We've been here for a while. How about we order pizza? Alright, so how do we want to do this? We order like a half.
Okay, so yes, dulu ya. Okay, now everyone, after you watch the video, okay, it's talking about lunch decision. Okay, so it's quite an easy one, but you already watched how they maintain a piece of pizza that they will try to order, and somehow they find difficulties to decide, okay, which kind of pizza that they would like to try to order, okay, because every single one have their own taste, and then, okay, so now let's take a look. If this kind of happen for your daily basis, what do you guys do?
Spin the menu.
Spin the menu. That's probably one of the alternative, right? Any else? Vote. Okay, that's right. Vote. So we can make some sort of vote which one that we like to order. Okay, if that's what happened. Now I'm going to ask you to listen for the audio about making decision, and it's going to be a British accent audio as usual. Now let's take a look, and I want to make sure that all of you listen this audio very carefully because the audio is going to be related to the person after the audio will play. Okay, so make sure that you hear this audio very well. Concentrate, everyone.
Recording is from the British Council. Thanks for coming, everyone. So we're here today to define the timeline for our new project.
Yes, Jenny, that's a great idea.
Okay, what do you need from us?
Hold on a moment. I think we need to decide between us what to do to make sure it works for all departments.
Yes, exactly. Don't worry. We're going to discuss this and make a decision together. Let's first think about the scheduling of each project phase.
Okay, everyone. After you listen their conversation about making decision, I'm going to ask you how many are they? Five. Okay. Anyone remember their names? Yes. Jenny, David, Aniko, Caroline, Jenny. Okay, so Jenny is the leader, yeah? Okay. Now let's take a look. Based on this material, you're going to answer the questions. But you don't have to worry, it's only 4 multiple choices. Okay, let's take a look. Now, start with question number 1. The objective of the meeting is talking about what? B. Okay, so whether they agree or not, when each task of the project will happen. Okay, so the step, they've been talking about the step. Okay, now let's take a look for the question number 2. What does anyone want? Would you like to raise your hand to answer it? Okay, you think? It's B. Okay, so everyone will make decision together because they've been discussed about. Okay. What have you been discussed about? About the timeline of the project. Okay, very nice, everyone. Now let's take a look for the next round. Okay, now David, what did you try communicate in those situations based on the audio that we already listened to? Yes?
I think it's A.
A. Prefer for structured approach. Okay. How about Carolina? What Carolina doesn't say much at first because of? Yes.
She is considering people's suggestions.
Okay. Considering between everyone's suggestion during all the conversation. Okay, good. Now let's take a look on this one. So what kind of decision that they take? Yes, A. A vote. Okay. Now let's take a look. This is the last one. Based on the audio, David suggests that they should. Yes. Okay, extra time later on. Okay, thank you so much. And all the answers are correct, everyone. Now, as an evaluation, here for decision making, the topic that we've been discussed today. Now let's take a look. This is as an evaluation. You might think about a time when you had to choose between 2 equally appealing options. So you have 2 options and you have to choose between those 2. Write about the factor that influence your decision and how you ultimately make your choice. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to write down what the options are, which is equally the same. You think? Okay, you maybe would like to choose between what and what. Okay, so make sure that you know exactly on how you try to consider the things. Okay, now I would like to ask you to write down from your paper. Okay, time begin. Silakan. Okay, are you done, guys? Okay, anyone would like to maybe go in front of the class and tell about what 2 options that maybe it's hard for you to choose. Okay. Bisa depan?
I'm shy.
You don't have to be shy. Okay, you may have to go in front of the class and just tell about it. Okay.
I think what should I eat when the rainy days?
Okay.
Choosing the noodles or rice.
Okay. That's two options that probably equal for you. Any else? Yes?
Every day I wake up to decide what coffee should I drink, Americano or cappuccino.
Okay, between Americano and cappuccino. Anything else? Maybe, as you know, for the evaluation process. Others? Okay. Yeah, okay.
The decision I make is when after class,
Okay, after class.
I choose when I want to eat in Islam or Nibung.
Okay. That is the
Chinese.
okay. It's hard for you to choose.
Yes, it's hard for me to choose.
Okay, very nice. Thank you so much. Okay, selanjutnya. Okay. Now let's back on this one. So everyone, what is decision making decision? Okay, so sometimes the process is quite hard for us to choose. Okay, so there is a several sequence that we need to make sure. Choose choices, okay, and then decide, and also decision, right? Okay, so those four, maybe, yeah, we need to make sure that what we choose is the best one or the right one for us, okay? Now this is the definition. So decision making is a process of making choices by identifying the decision and also gathering the information that you would like to ask and assessing alternative resolution. So in the end, so you make sure that this is the right one, okay? Based on the several categories that we've been discussed about, yeah, make sure that we also think about the risks, the consequences, and also maybe reviewing. Okay, review. Is this already the best one or not? Okay. Now, actually, we still have for one audio, but I'm going to give you later on after this. Okay, everyone. After every activity that we've been doing today, so I'm going to ask you to divide into a group. Okay, so you're going to divide into a group and you're going to present a scenario about a required decision to make. Okay, and then after that, it's going to be evaluated, and you're going to also present your making process. Okay, making decision process, okay, based on the problem that I give you, okay, in the paper, okay, I already gave you in the paper. Yeah, okay, so you may think about it between all options, okay. Everyone, I would like to ask you to make group, a little one, okay, make a circle for you, yeah, maybe you may go over here, yeah, we talk about, yeah, have a group. Go over there. Now do it begini. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's done, everyone. You may go right into your desk. Okay, back to your chair. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to deliver the conclusion of today's activity. So the topic about decision making in listening course at the intermediate level involves understanding the vocabulary, the concept that related to the decision making, as well as you try to apply your critical thinking various contexts when here for several English audio, which is we already listened to British accent. Now, as a conclusion, there is an effective decision making involved when you try to identify the problem, you gathering all the information, and also you try to evaluating the alternative. And also after that, you make decision and try to implementing, and then you evaluating the decision. And in this round, you as a student can develop your decision-making skill through groups and also project that also required for you to apply about decision-making process, and you work collaboratively. Okay, and after that, you're going to also, as a student, developing your decision-making skill and also critical thinking skill, and become a better problem solver in the end. Okay, I'm going to also ask about you and try to remind you. So we have this project. Okay, so you're going to creating project, but it's in the end of this semester, not now. But I have to briefly explain to you what you're going to do. Okay, so because we, as students in this department, we need to have more outcome-based evaluation. So you're going to have a project, okay, making educational audio book, and then you try to make sure that you put it in Canva, and then you try to convert to Hazin, make it as a big book. Okay, so it's going to be making for supplementary listening audio book. Okay, this is a step from the project planning team. So you're going to divide it into several groups, and then choose the topic, and also there is assignment after the topic. And then there is an assignment based on the topic. Okay, so you're going to put also several audio. And after that, you try to present in front of the class. Okay, but in the end of this semester. Okay, everyone? So, okay, so now for reflection, how you guys feel for today's topic? What do you feel, guys? Do you clear it enough? Is it enough or clear enough for all of you? Yes?
I think it's clear because we know more about vocabulary that we have to use when we have to make decisions.
Okay, very nice. Okay, thank you so much also for your cooperatively. Okay, everyone. So it's been done already for today's topic. We've been talking about making decision. Okay, so thank you so much for your attendance today, and also you've been participating very active. Okay, and that is all for today. Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Demikianlah penjelasan serta proses mengajar saya mengenai teknik pengajaran intermediate listening dengan salah satu topik yang saya terapkan di kelas. Melalui pendekatan delivery, interaction, dan assessment dalam unjuk kerja Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi Bidang Pengajaran sebagai bagian dari proses sertifikasi dosen tahun 2025, saya ucapkan terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.